Greetings and salutations. Welcome to the Shout It Out Loudcast. Don't turn your radio dial. You're in the right place. It's time for another bonus episode. We're calling this one, Give Me a Little More Time to Slide It In. Zeus, Tommy, how are ya?
What's up, buddy? How are you? What a spectacular intro for our bonus episode. Thank you so much. Zeus, what's up, buddy?
Life is good. Can't complain. I'm with you two handsome bastards.
Absolutely. Oh, the good looks here are just... Maybe we'll have to finally publish this one on YouTube. Woo, people want to see this.
It's raining good looks.
Oh, it's raining.
There's one good-looking guy. The bald one.
See? Sonny knows. Sonny knows.
Oh, so wait a minute. If you want to shit on yourself, go ahead. Why do you have to lump me in with you?
Because I don't want to be alone.
Oh, God, I don't want to be alone.
The only one good looking here in this Skype video is my little Jericho wrestling doll. Action figure over there.
Oh, God.
I think the only good-looking thing is this green guitar I got back here. It's a Vi.
Yeah, what is that? I can see
the Loch Ness Monster, baby. It's a Loch Ness Monster, Ibanez.
Okay, because I can see the bottom of it. That thing is amazing looking. And that Kiss poster that you have behind you framed, I have that exact same one, not framed yet though.
Oh, yeah, I'll have a guitar hung in front of it here in about 2 weeks.
Ooh, what guitar? Do tell.
It's Cloud, baby. White.
Okay.
There's Jack Daniels bass right next to it. Look.
Yes, I've seen that. That's awesome. And then what's the other one next to it? It looks like a casket or something.
It's the Epitaph. Zach Wilde. Epiphone Epitaph.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. There we go. Yeah, I have nothing behind me except a bathrobe and some baseball hats. So
I got my Guitar Hero guitar back there. You want me to pull that out?
What's the little thing, that 3x5 that's on the wall by itself? What is that?
In my place?
That looks like Michael Bolton, like a single or something. See that thing?
Are you talking Tommy's or mine?
Yours. That little blue thing outline. What is that?
Up there?
No. Behind you. There, yeah.
The wall?
Yeah.
That's like a calendar of my daughter when she was like 5, you jackass. Michael Bolton.
Sonny thinks you have a Michael Bolton poster in your room.
It looks like the Soul Provider single. I didn't know. I'm sorry.
Okay, first of all, wait, we got to stop. The fact that Sonny knows what the Soul Provider single looks like is a problem.
I don't even know what the hell he was saying, Soul Provider. I guess it's an album title that you know what he's talking about. That.
Oh, God almighty. Here we go.
Shame.
So this bonus episode is going to be about Michael Bolton.
Yeah. And this will be the last bonus episode.
Oh, man.
So we are doing another bonus episode, right?
Wait a second.
Say it again.
Michael Bolton's song title is Said I Loved You, But I Lied. You don't remember that song?
Yeah, unfortunately I do, and I'm a little bit alarmed here. So you just came off the Monsters of Rock cruise, and we'll talk about that. Do they have like a Michael Bolton cruise or anything like that?
I roomed with him.
Oh, cool. How was this?
Which one? Steve Michael or?
No, none of those guys look like Michael Bolton.
Oh, my
BC's on the top bunk. I come in late one night. He goes, Sonny. I'm like, yeah. You okay? I'm like, dude, stay put, dude. Stay exactly where you are. Oh, I'm doing just fine. After 25 years or whatever he had that night, I'm like, you stay put, buddy.
Yeah, I don't need any loving.
Oh, God.
You. So how was your Monsters of Rock cruise?
Well, as you can tell, I'm sounding like a gremlin because 7 days of screaming for 20 hours a day will do it to you. But it was a great cruise, man. So I saw some unbelievable bands and then saw some straight up crap, too. So, but it was a great time. Definitely was.
So can you name names on what some of the favorite or surprising bands that you saw?
Yeah, the two surprising bands to me was a band called Heat, which is from Sweden, and a band called Shiraz Lane, which is from Finland.
Wow.
And what Steve and I talked about a little bit, the European bands, they come to rock, man. They ain't got no choice because there's so much competition. It is ridiculous. And because of them, CJ Snare from Firehouse is on. He's on stage and he's like, we just saw the bands that played the last 2 days and they put their best performance out there. Usually they're pretty boring, but they know they had to come to rock. Otherwise they'd be on the bottom end of the list. So, American rock has just gotten a little bit lazy when it comes to live sometimes.
Wow. Yeah, and you're right. A lot of those European bands on that cruise, they probably know that. I'm thinking that's probably the first time that a lot of people may actually see them, and they're like, hey, we got to make a good first impression. Let's perform for these people that may have never heard of us and maybe, kind of get the word out. Because you're right, those bands from Finland, they're not going to come over to America and tour, Well,
yeah, just don't have the money, right?
Right.
And, all they have to do is get on, the Growing Up Rock podcast or Parter Than Hell. And, you get a couple podcasters that listen and spread the word and promote their music, and it gets out there. And that's what's helping a lot of those guys. And it's nice free advertising that they can do.
Yeah, you would think that the free advertising helps. I think it helps. I do it just to do it because I'm going to talk music anyway, and it's nice talking music with friends. But I can't imagine it's hurting, so it's got to be helping.
Yeah. Plus, I would love to hear an interview between Stephen Michaels' accent and some guy with a Finnish accent.
It's coming, baby. It's coming. There's nothing like you're talking to a Finnish singer and he says, bitch, please. And I'm like, did you just say bitch, please?
Hillbilly.
Foghorn Leghorn. Oh my God.
Anyway, that is poor Steven. So last time we had you on, we did Appetite for Destruction, which I remembered after we played the episode, I remembered we forgot to mention how well it did. That album sold 30 million copies. Best-selling debut of all time.
Yep.
But 30 million copies. That is insane.
Yeah, that is mind-blowing because you'll never see numbers like that ever again in the digital age.
Oh, unreal. And this week we decided, before we go on, how did we do? We did a poll, right?
Yeah, so we did. We always do a poll. So the bonus episode poll was, and for people that follow us with the KISS polls and everything, Twitter allows you to do 4 options. I think we usually do 2 on Facebook. So we just did something simple, favorite song from from Appetite. So the Twitter poll got Rocket Queen was the winner with 40% of the vote. Welcome to the Jungle, 24%. Sweet Child of Mine and Mr. Brownstone tied at 18%. And on Facebook, we had Welcome to the Jungle versus Rocket Queen. Rocket Queen won 60 to 40% on that one. So everybody's correct because Rocket Queen is the best song on the album.
18% of the people are correct when they voted Brownstone.
You know what, though? I wouldn't have a problem if somebody made me say that was the best one. It's a great song, the whole album. So you can't argue with any of those picks.
I would say 17% got it wrong on that one, but that's okay because I know you're the 1% that would have picked it. I can't believe that many people picked it. It's a great album all the way around. We had a lot of fun with that one, and now and we got a lot of comments, and we'll read about those comments at the end.
Yep.
From the feedback we got. But now we're switching gears. We're going over. And we're going to do this one on Slide It In, the Whitesnake album.
Yep. Whitesnake, Slide It In from 1984. Appetite for Destruction was kind of a group decision. This was kind of a little bit, we kind of all agree on what we're picking, but I wanted an album that was, a favorite, an album that's important to me, and an album that wasn't necessarily cliche. Like, we weren't going to do, Back in Black or Pyromania. Maybe in the future we'll do those, but kind of wanted to stick to something that's popular, but not, not obvious. So like we do with our album reviews, we talk about, our experience with the album, our history with the album, what we have. So this came out in 1984. So I was 11 years old when this came out. I have a sister who's 4 years older than me. So she was 15 at the time. And I got into a lot of like hard rock through her because she had, she had like Master Puppets. It was all the cassettes, Master Puppets, like Def Leppard, High and Dry. This was one too. And this album to this day, and we'll talk about it when we do the track by track, just one of the defining 80s albums for me as a kid growing up. And even at this age, 46 years old, I mean, to hear an album that sounds as fresh and as masterfully produced as this one is, just an iconic album for me that I still listen to this day. Zeus.
Yeah, Whitesnake, this album. So we always talk about our first memories. I don't remember this per se. I remember going into do you remember the Strawberries near, like, I think it was Woburn Burlington line, Tom?
Yep.
And it was like near Service Merchandise.
Absolutely. Used to
Do you
go there all
remember
the
that
time.
one?
Yes.
Yeah. There, I walked in and I saw the first Whitesnake posters of them coming out.
Yep.
And promotional stuff from the Whitesnake album. I was like, who the fuck is Whitesnake? And back then when you're buying all the hair metal type CDs and that are coming out and stuff, you're like, oh, look at this. It's shiny. It's new. I got to see this. And then came out. The Whitesnake album in Still the Night.
Self-titled, yep.
Yeah. And I saw that, and that was the first, I think, concert. I think I told you about that I went to, and I saw, and I think Great White opened up. I was a freshman in high school. And I was like, oh, these guys are better than Led Zeppelin in my head. I'm like, because everything was the comparison right away. Oh, they're a rip-off artist. And then from there, I went backwards like I normally do. And I was like, holy shit, what is this? How did I miss when this came out? And I was immediately drawn to like the videos, Slow and Easy. And, you remember the sliding in the title and everything. And and then I fell in love with it. And then eventually it kind of supplanted the original self-titled album. And I've been drawn to it ever since. And I always listen to it, to Whitesnake. And so, when you said, when we each had to pick an album and you picked this, I was very happy and very on board.
Yep. Sonny, what do you got, buddy?
So I'm 15 in 84. Saved my birthday money and my Christmas money and went right at the end of 84, I was going to buy 3 albums, but I ended up buying 4. Bought Animalize, Purple Rain, and Slide It In. Those were the 3 I was going to go buy because I had seen the videos, right? So the Hoop to Fire, that was done. Purple Rain, I'd seen the movie already, that was done. And then Coverdale was the first time that I had seen somebody work the mic stand, right? Because I'm watching Prince, I'm watching Kiss, I'm watching Y&T. Everybody I'm really looking at is playing an instrument except for Roth. And Roth wasn't much for the microphone. Like, he would pull the microphone out, but he wasn't playing with the stand much unless he was doing one of those dance thingies or whatever. But you didn't see that much until afterwards. So I remember Coverdale being the guy that anytime I saw somebody doing that angled mic stand thing, I'm like, oh, he's doing the David Coverdale. I'm sure it came up way before that, but that was just to me. So I was in the whole way. Slow and Easy is what got me into the album. And that 4th album I ended up buying was Dynasty, because when I was looking for Analyze, I'm like, who the hell is this? Right. Yes. So I bought Dynasty too.
Nice.
So I still got my original album.
Yeah, it's funny because like this, and we'll talk about, we'll get into some of the background of the album. I mean, the story of this album is just, it could be a whole like 3-part episode here with the band members moving around, the production, the UK remix, the US remix, all this stuff. But, when this album came out and, it was kind of re-released into the, it kind of re-entered the charts in the United States because of the success of, that album, just the self-titled that Zeus mentioned, that just blew up with Still the Night, Here I Go Again, Is This Love? But this album right here, to me, this is not hair metal. This is like early 80s rock. And it, to me, for me personally, I put it up there with an album like High and Dry, where there's no pretenses to it. I mean, maybe it's a little bit cock rock if you want to use that term, but it's just ripping guitars, ripping drums, a lead singer who is just taking control of every song. You know, it's not hair metal. I mean, obviously Slide It In, the title track. There's a couple other songs we'll talk about that kind of have that tongue-in-cheek kind of silliness that, you know, Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley are probably couldn't believe they didn't come up with Slide It In before they did. But it's the kind of album that I love to listen to because it's not dated. It's not of the time. It's 2020, and this album still kicks just major ass.
Yeah, you got to give it up to Geffen because this is a little bit of a risk, right? Because right now, Quiet Riot has got the #1 album in the country, or they've had it. Rat just released something that's rocking. High and Dry has got crunchy guitars. And Geffen's ready to re-release or release this bluesy record, even with the changes to the U.S. mix and the re-recording of the bass and the guitar. It's still not as rocking as High and Dry is, right? So Geffen's taking a little bit of a leap here.
And it's not a new band.
Right.
It's an established band that's had several albums, and it's a little like in the middle of their career at that point.
Yeah, that's like what I was saying earlier. I think like the story of Whitesnake is just an interesting. I mean, if you're a music fan, you know, which obviously we are, but I mean, the story of Whitesnake and the evolution of the band and their sound is just, you know, and this album kind of fits right into it. This album is like a gray area in their career. But Zeus, go ahead.
You said it, gray area.
Yeah,
it's right between the Saint and Sinners, Come and Get It, bluesier, traditional Whitesnake, and not quite all the way over to the, you know, LA or hair metal sound of Whitesnake self-titled album. It's right in the middle, but it did move away from that bluesier side to a little bit more AC/DC and harder riffs. And it's not a coincidence. They changed the guitarist of, you know, the sound moved. They got the more heavy metal Cozy Powell to play drums, which totally changed a lot for them. And it obviously got them to a different type of sound, maybe alienated some of their earlier fans, but definitely opened them up to a bigger audience.
Yeah, they don't get me if they don't do the mix. Because think about this. They never pimped these guys as Coverdale's the ex-singer for Deep Purple. Shit, I had to find that shit out on my own. Yep. Right? I didn't even know he was in Deep Purple. Yep. And then I remember for years and years and years, like Zeus, you were saying, I'm like, there's a Come and Get It? There's a North Winds? There's a Love Hunter? Like, what is all this shit? I thought the Whitesnake 87 album was the first, you know, well, I knew Slide It In, but I was wondering, I'm like, why is their second album self-titled? That's weird. Right, and then you keep finding these little nuggets that were expensive as shit. If you wanted Love Hunter, it was like $40.
Yep. And getting back to what Zeus had mentioned too about, and we've already kind of covered the different mixes. So I'm an Apple Music guy. That's where I get my music from, and I know that, you know, last year they released a 35th anniversary Ultimate Edition collection with the thing is insane. So I had Slide It In my library. I'm at work and I'm playing it and I'm like, something is not right here. This is not right. And I'm listening to Slide In. I'm like, what is going on here? There's no guitar solo. It sounds thin. It sounds limp. And then all of a sudden I'm looking at it. So I open up Apple Music and I see Slide It In. That's what I had. And then I see Slide It In US mix. So I'm like, holy shit, what a night and day difference. Like Zeus said with the drums, this album just kicks you in the nuts, the US mix. I mean, It is like an AC/DC early Def Leppard, drums that are pounding in riffs that are just crunching. And it's amazing. It's like Sonny said, that UK mix, that's not pulling any American listeners in.
Oh, nope. And it's funny. Yeah, I'm going to add to what you said about, wait a minute, this is their second album. They're calling it Whitesnake.
Yep. You
should see me because I'm compulsive. As soon as I get into a band, I got to get all their stuff. If I buy one of your stuff, I'm more 100, almost 90 to 100%. I'm going to buy the rest of your stuff.
Yep.
And I invest in the band. Like I got to hear everything. you should see when I'm buying like Love Hunter, Ready and Willing, and then I find Live in the Heart of the City. What do you mean they have a live album? Holy shit! How long has this band been in existence? And I'm hearing this stuff. I'm hearing the crowd. I'm like, these guys been around for a while. They had like a sound, an audience that was like all of their own. But I guess because we're in the U.S., we don't know about it and we don't hear about it. And that's what kind of opened me up. But the Whitesnake that we first learned over here, totally different. But this was the, kind of like the starting point where they started to transform into that.
Yeah, I'll say I have all the Whitesnake stuff. Love most of it. Coverdale's voice between like 83 and like 91 is the bang zone for me. Before that, it's a little too bluesy and there's not enough punch. And I was glad, like when you listen to some of the UK US versions, even on this album, they cut out a keyboard solo. They replaced it with a guitar. They turned down the keyboards. I'm not saying I'm a John Lord hater. It's just that it kind of pussifies some of the songs. That's the problem.
Different sound. Different sound. Yeah.
Totally different sound. And it's funny, like Zeus was talking about how Whitesnake was around for long enough that they actually had a live album, and then, Slide It In was starting to turn the corner, and then, then self-titled, and then, Slip of the Tongue, they were just full bore, kind of hair metal stuff. But it's funny, other than being, and I know this is probably a big critique if you're a Whitesnake fan or if you're David Coverdale, but they were like, oh, Robert Plant, Zeppelin ripoff. But they also never got accused of what Kiss was accused of in the 80s, which is following trends. This went from a blues, Deep Purple style band to a hair band, an admitted hair band. And everyone was like, these guys are awesome. Meanwhile, Kiss does it, and they're all like, look at these fucking posers, bunch of phonies, right?
Yeah, you got that. But, the funny thing is when they do change, I think you got the hair metal, but they got lumped in with the whole new, hey, these guys are Zepp ripoffs. Them, Kingdom Come came out around then too.
Oh, God, yeah.
There was that whole backlash about being Led Zeppelin ripoffs. And then Robert Plant kind of got into it too, especially when he teamed up later on with Jimmy Page and did Coverdale Page. Like, that's when it started to get a little bit of a cat fight.
I would say it would have been much worse for Whitesnake if Kingdom Come doesn't come. Like, Kingdom Come coming on took all the Zeppelin shit off of Whitesnake. That lasted for just a little bit. Kingdom Come's still dealing with this shit. And trust me, they don't sound like Zeppelin anymore. I just heard them.
Were they on the Monsters of Rock cruise?
They were working the bar, Tom.
Yeah.
They were taking Sonny's luggage.
Doing dry cleaning downstairs before they had to play, yeah.
Hey, you think I get in on a set? We're all set, buddy. We're booked up. Yeah, but I remember the shit that they would get about Coverdale copying Robert Plant, even his stage moves, the long hair, the open chest, and just being very British. and there's a lot of that in this album, just the very British David Coverdale. And but this, if you watch like some of the videos, I believe that's him. That's his stage presence. What I always find is that hilarious. If you took how many members played in Deep Purple, Whitesnake, Rainbow, any form of Dio or Ronnie James Dio, how many of these guys have all been in the same Alcatraz and everything else? Oh my God.
It is like the most like incestuous family tree of bands.
Yeah.
It's insane.
And it would still be less than the Bullet Boys and LA Guns. Just let you know. Because I think LA Guns is like at 50.
Sorry. But these guys actually had talent. Sorry.
Oh, come on. LA Guns are great.
Oh, LA Guns, you're right. Yes, I'll give you
Guns,
that.
Yeah.
But
and speaking of Whitesnake, I mean, since we're talking about Whitesnake, I'll just throw this in real quick before we get back to Slide It In. I'm a fan of Flesh and Blood that came out last year. I mean, for a band that's been around for this long, to put an album out that really flew under the radar, I mean, that's a really good album. Zeus, I'm not sure if you have given it a chance. Sonny, I'm not sure what you think. I see you nodding your head, but I mean,
I know Sonny loves it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I don't love it. It didn't make my top 10 for last year.
Yeah.
But Shut Up and Kiss Me is a great song. So if you haven't tried new Whitesnake, try it because it's got hints of the old Whitesnake.
Yep.
Maybe I'm thinking of a different album. Was there something else that they released in the past few years that you were a big fan of? Because I could have sworn I remember you.
Starkers in Tokyo, which was a long time ago.
Okay. Maybe I'm thinking of someone else.
Are you thinking of Slip of the Tongue? That came out in '89, but
no, you know what? You might be right. I think you were a bigger fan of Slip of the Tongue. Am I right, Sonny?
Yeah, Slide It In, Whitesnake '87, and Slip of the Tongue, to me, is a trilogy that can stand up against others.
Yeah.
When you talk about three records in a row, but people hate Slip of the Tongue because by that time they were too hair metal. For me, Vi comes into the fold and it totally changes who they are, and I think it's even better. But
I think Slip of the Tongue's got a ton of great songs. I think that's you're right. I think that's a good trifecta right there. Those 3 albums in a row for sure.
It is, but if you're a real fan of the Whitesnake era, you listen to Fool for Your Lovin'. And you listen to the original kicks ass.
Oh, yeah. No, you're right.
You're right. Its ass. Even the guitar on it is better in the original, more bluesy. Coverdale's. I just doesn't mean that the Slip of the Tongue album or Fool for Your Love on that album is bad. It's just that's my wheelhouse. That older bluesier side, in that old deep, and it was a deep purple type of band.
Yep.
More so than a Zeppelin band, which they got accused of.
Yeah. And one interesting thing about getting back to Slide It In. So being a Kiss podcast and Sonny being a Kiss fan, we always talk about Eddie Kramer and how awesome Eddie Kramer was with what he did for Kiss. What's interesting is David Coverdale wanted Eddie Kramer for Slide It In, and it ended up being Martin Birch because he was dismissed for his lack of feeling with the band, which is really interesting considering what the resume of Eddie Kramer. Obviously, to me, Martin Birch nailed it with this production.
But who did Eddie Kramer? We know who he's produced, right?
Yep.
All the big name artists. But Martin Birch, Deep Purple, Rainbow, Black Sabbath, Iron Maiden. Which one sounds more like Whitesnake?
Absolutely,
type of sound.
No, you're right. You're right.
They're not Kiss. Maybe Zeppelin not at that point, but. Martin Birch sounds like a better fit because that's the wheelhouse. In my opinion.
Agreed.
So, we got 3 different versions. They recorded in '83. UK came out January 30th. Japanese came out March 23rd. North America came out April 16th. And the North Americans, when they signed their big contract with Geffen, and they heard the actual Slide It In, and they're like, "Yeah, change this up for the American version." So the original band by this point, so you had Coverdale, obviously. At this point, Mel Galley, no relation to Boston Bruin, Gary Galley. I'm sorry, that's a hockey reference.
Did he call a timeout he didn't have?
No, that was that you won't let it go. I don't know. You laughed a little too hard at my expense there, Sonny. I'll get you back. Mel Galley, who took over for Bernie Marsden. And you had Mick Moody, who's been there for years. And then Colin Hodgkinson, who had taken over for Neil Murray, the bassist, who had been there for years. John Lord had now been there. And Cozy Powell comes in.
Yes.
Right? And he boots out Deep Purple's drummer there. What's the name? Ian
Pace.
Ian Pace, right?
Yep.
So that's what starts this album. So Mick Moody, Mel Galley, and it's that legendary dual attack of Whitesnake guitarists. And they've had great ones. So they start with Bernie Marsden and Mick Moody, then they go Mel Galley, Mick Moody, and then Mel Galley goes, Mick Moody gets booted out, and the legendary from Thin Lizzy, John Sykes, comes in.
Yep.
So now it's Mel Galley, John Sykes. And then Vandenberg comes in. Then Vivian Campbell comes in. And then Steve Vai comes in. Then Red Beach comes in.
It's amazing.
And who's on? Hoekstra comes in, right?
Joel
So-
Holst,
Shit,
yep.
DeMartini was in the band for a while.
Yeah, but he didn't record any albums.
No, he didn't. He
He was
didn't.
like
Yeah.
Vivian Campbell. He toured with them, but he didn't record it.
Yeah.
But it's that legendary dual attack of Whitesnake. So the original was Galley, Moody, Hodgkinson, Lord, and Powell that recorded this. And then apparently they were like, this shit is too weak. And then they brought back Neil Murray, the original bassist that played for most of their legendary albums prior to this, and John Sykes. And then they recorded over and overdubbed the guitar parts and the bass parts.
Yep.
And remixed everything and added Bill Cuomo, I think, to some of the keyboards parts too that they did as well. And then that's why we have the different versions.
Yeah, there's an interesting story with Mickey. So supposedly, Mickey never liked Mel Galley. He said the sound didn't mix. He wanted Bernie back. And I guess they're at a bar or something. And because Sykes was in Thin Lizzy, Coverdale's talking to Sykes. Mick's just sitting there being quiet. And then he goes over in front of Sykes and tells Mickey, never turn your back to the audience ever again. Right?
Yeah.
So Mickey gets pissed off, tries to call a band meeting, and the manager tells Mickey, Dave's busy entertaining guests. Sorry, he ain't showing up to the band meeting. And that was the end of Mickey's career with Whitesnake.
Yeah, the drama, like we were just saying, but like Zeus mentioned the lineup. Sonny mentioned in the drama. I mean, a lot of bitching and whining in this band before they really got it. It's like every other band, but some of the stuff, it's like a bunch of friggin' chicks here. Come on, people.
But they did about
part
5
of it
or
is-
6 albums with that lineup that was
No, they did.
consistent up until now,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right at this point.
And there was drama later, right? Vanderbilt gets sick. It's like, we're not waiting. Let Steve Vai record all the parts. Just a few years ago, Coverdale said Sykes didn't write any of that shit on 87. I wrote it all. I wrote 85% of it. John, I think John said, I didn't even know David played guitar.
I know.
So that shit's been going on a while.
Oh yeah, no, it's crazy.
But these guys, every one of those guys, talented musicians.
Oh yeah,
talented people.
Yep.
So when they add in the extra parts, hence you get all these different versions of the album. Thankfully, in the U.S., we got to hear what I believe is the better version, and that's what we grew up with.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, it's like we mentioned briefly earlier. It's a totally different sounding album. I mean, you just listen to a song like you listen to a song like All or Nothing, or even the title track Slide It In. It's like 2 different songs. I mean, it's stunning the difference.
Yep,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, it got on Billboard 200. I think it topped out at 40, but there's no way that original mix hits the top 4. There's no way.
No way. Nope. Different kind of sound. And I think what Zeus said earlier a couple minutes ago about how this band has been supremely talented throughout their career. I think that's what kind of kept this band from kind of sinking into the hair metal thing. Like they took their slings and arrows, they took their critique as hair band, but I think the talent just kind of, I think people like, okay, you know what, this band isn't Poison. This band isn't Kingdom Come. This band kicks ass. They're nailing their instruments. They're writing great hooks. David Coverdale is just a friggin' frontman for the ages, I think.
Absolutely. You just hit on that. A very charismatic frontman. Whatever you could say, he's got pipes. Yep. He's got stage presence. He looks like a rock star. He acts like one. And it gives credibility to that band. And he didn't add in, I don't know, CC DeVille to jump in. He added Steve Vai.
Right.
He didn't, he added a credible hair metal type of guy.
Yep.
And so I think like in every one of those guys Rudy Sarzo and all those guys, every one of those guys, musicians still liked. So as much as people could give shit to them, like, oh, what the fuck is up there? Look, every one of those guys was a real player. They can be like, fuck you, listen to my music. So he can get away with that. He didn't put, the fucking basis from Enough's Enough. Sorry.
Not only is he charismatic, but he's hilarious, right? So in a recent interview, He says, invest in your hair. The interviewer says, do you color your hair? He goes, absolutely not. Pauses for a minute and says, I have a super hairdresser that does it for me. It's just, or he says, what do you tell people when people on the plane ask you what you do for a living when they see your hair? He goes, I tell them I'm a gynecologist, because who wants to tell people they're a rock star?
Oh my
right. So, I mean, he's hilarious.
And I'll tell you right now, as a front man, he has such a friggin' swagger. I mean, he is just like the cock rock man of the, but he doesn't do it with any kind of phony pretense. Like, he's not, like we've said, he's not Bret Michaels, or he knows who he is, and he comes in a confidence. And I think that's what carries a lot of these songs.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, mostly guys don't look at Bret Michaels and be like, oh, I want to be like him. They're like, why do chicks like him?
Right.
But David Lee Roth, what do you call it? David Coverdale,
yep,
are frontmen that guys are like, dude, those guys do not dislike them.
Right.
And chicks love them, and they can play it up. The guys are more like, shit, I wish I could be as cool and macho and funny as those guys are. And he's got that presence. And you're right. Even the little gimmicks of like rocking the mic the way he does didn't hurt, putting his hot girlfriend at the time in those videos.
She did not age well.
Oh.
Well, it's funny that you say that, Sonny.
She did not age well.
It's funny that you say it, because there was a picture not long ago. I may have sent it to the group text. I can't remember. It was a picture of David Coverdale. And it may have been with Glenn Hughes or somebody. And I said, why are there two women in this picture right now?
Yeah, he's a little weathered.
Oh, my goodness.
You know what it reminds me of? He reminds me of Kramer's face when he comes out of the smoke room.
Look at the old catcher's mitt.
Look away. I'm hideous.
I'm hideous.
And then when he starts smiling and his teeth
Yep.
That's what he looks weathered. He looks like he's had a fun life. That's what he looks like.
Absolutely. And good for him.
And you know what? And while we're at it, while we've been talking, obviously, we don't want to detour too much, but look at David Lee Roth and the reviews he's getting on the Kiss tour. People are loving it. What's the big thing I said to you, Tom, when we saw him? Look at the smile on his face. It's infectious. Look how much fun he's having. People are like, yeah, give him a break. Who gives a fuck? Look at him. He's having a blast. God bless Dave. That's Coverdale. Doesn't give a fuck. Big smile on his face. I'm having fun. I'm doing music. Fuck off. Like, that's infectious. It makes you like them. It makes you want to, as opposed to, I hate to say this, as the podcast that the other guys usually talk about. Hi, how you doing today, Mississippi?
Yeah.
Now,
speaking of Whitesnake, it's funny because of all the bands I've seen, and I've been to a million concerts since the first one I went when I was 15, I have never had the opportunity to see Whitesnake.
We will, because they got a good tour right now.
That's what I'm saying. I never. It has missed me, and I know I'm late to the party, and I know they're not going to sound the same. But there is a spectacular summer tour this year that I'm going to. I don't care if I have to go by myself. Whitesnake, Sammy Hagar, and Night Ranger, and I'm going.
That's what you do. That's our meeting, Sonny. We were talking about events. There it is. Us and Whitesnake and Sammy, your man. Come on.
And Night Ranger, who I absolutely love too.
Yep. What do you think?
Yep.
I got to look at the dates on that. That could be very interesting.
Yes. Yes.
There you go.
All right. Now, so go ahead, Zeus. No.
I was just going to say the last thing before we get started in the songs is we always talk about, the album cover.
Yep.
The one thing that sticks out to me, and I did read that, and is that the Whitesnake logo. It's the last one to have it. The old Whitesnake logo before they changed it on the self-titled debut, which I do like.
Which is kick-ass. And the album cover itself. I mean, if you're a young kid, a teenager or whatever, you see that album cover. Oh, I mean, it's spectacular. Honestly, when you see an album cover like this, and you look at what Kiss did for Animalize, where they had a bunch of like. How did you miss out on having some kind of animalistic sexual thing? Instead, you put a bunch of fucking animal prints on there. Like this, you got a snake wrapped around, like going down. Oh, it's fantastic.
Snake is tit banging the chick. Oh, love it.
Exactly. It's terrific.
So you wanted a leopard bikini on Animalize with like big tits?
There you go. You could have had a leopard skin top and maybe like a zebra skin bottom.
Nope,
Something.
Nope. I got it.
Oh, here we go.
Like a wet t-shirt bra, like shiny, and like an animal, like either a tiger, like ripping the shirt off with like scratch marks and showing the boobs,
or even
it up,
or even loosely based on the cover of the Animalized live video. It has like the claws with the.
That's what I'm saying. On a pair of breasts.
Yeah.
And it's kind of revealing with the claws.
Okay, well, guess what? Our buddy Ed Spangenberg, you're listening now. Come up with something like this, please. You did the piss cup for us. Come up with something with
which is becoming legendary, by the way. We'll save it for our next SIOL episode, regular episode. The piss cups.
We'll save that because we got to get into the track by track here, right?
Yeah.
What do you think, Sonny? Anything you want to add about the album cover?
No, I love the album cover. I think Tommy's absolutely right. Like that album cover makes you want to buy it. There's no doubt about that.
Yep.
So before we get started, excuse me, I got to spit something out. All right, we're back, and now I feel cheap and nasty. This is terrible.
Cheap and nasty. Nice one. Excellent. Oh, God.
All right. So, obviously, there are 15,642 different versions of this album. So, follow along. We're going to use the new U.S. remixed version that came out recently. The one that starts with this song as number one.
And that is Gambler, also known as Eye of the Tiger, I think, a little bit there.
I fucking had that in there. I had that. I shit you not. Eye of the Tiger.
Yep.
That's my first line of my notes.
See? I love it.
It's a slow down Eye of the Tiger, I think.
Yeah. Now it's a good song. It's a good song. But how do you re-release this and have that be the opening track is beyond me.
Yeah, I don't know why you would do that. I'll tell you, I really like the song because any song, yeah, I do. Any song, because I'm a card player, so any song that has kind of like cards in it somehow in the lyrics ends up on my Vegas playlist, so I end up listening to it a lot. I don't like the UK version because of the echoes. The echoes are weird in the UK version, but the US version, they clean that up. But I really like the song.
Yeah.
It's written by Coverdale and Mel Galley. It has the distinction of having a keyboard solo. And
which actually, go ahead, Zeus. I'm sorry.
No, I'm saying you can tell the John Lord presence that we were kind of talking about earlier, which reminds me of the REO Speedwagon song, which has a lot of guitar, but that keyboard solo, what do you call it there? Roll with the Changes.
Oh,
it has right? And you have a little mix between the guitars and the keyboards there. And, you know, the other couple things in here that I wanted to mention here, a very common theme in Coverdale's music is him writing words and including the word gypsy. I don't know if he's got gypsy in his family or what, or he's been in Eastern Europe a lot, where if you try to go out to eat, you get attacked by gypsies trying to sell you pencils while you're trying to eat. But he loves to bring up gypsies. I know, because I used to go to Greece every other summer growing up, and they're still there. And you can't fucking sit out at a cafe without somebody trying to sell you a shawl or something, and you're watching.
Why a pencil? Why a pencil? I don't understand.
I don't know. Like,
who needs a pencil?
They just walk around trying to sell shit, and then the other little kid comes around and takes your wallet when you're not looking. It's fucked up. And anybody that used traveled there and traveled to Eastern Europe and knows what I'm talking about. If you've been to any places outside trying to eat and mind your business, you get attacked.
Kind of reminds us of when we went to Cancun and you're sitting outside of a bar and some little kid comes up to you and puts a bracelet on your wrist without you knowing what's going on, then asks for money. And if you don't give him money, he's going to friggin' cut your head off and hang it from a street lamp.
Dude, Mexico's the worst. I know we're getting off topic here, but Mexico's the worst with that. So what I do is I just say, look, I don't got any money. The wife's got all the money. And she shoos all, because they'll say $20, she'll say $2, right? And she shoos them away. But then this kid came, chicolette, and we came home with like a fucking luggage full of chicalettes because she felt bad for them.
Oh, God.
Oh, man.
You haven't lived till you spent $80 on chicalettes?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Chicalettes?
So we detoured because he said the word gypsy.
See what happens? That's all it takes.
The other one is that he says... And I don't know if you guys are a big fan, but he said the phrase in the song, he's a victim of circumstance.
Oh, yeah, that's a famous one, too. Yeah.
From? Come on. That's Curly from the Three Stooges.
Oh, Jesus.
He's a victim of circumstance.
Oh, God. Now it's a Three Stooges. Oh, God.
It reminds me of that. What was that? We had one time, Sonny, we had a contest and we were in Stonehill. Who was going to play the worst song from each room? By the way, I won with Ebony and Ivory. I blasted that from my room.
Yeah, but the winner should have been.
I don't know. Murph had some crazy, awful shit. But I also played in that the Curly Shuffle by Jumping the Saddle. I used to get Tommy cracking up when I played that.
It's the greatest. It's so fucking embarrassing.
I've been ruined with three guys. It sounded like the Three Stooges in there, too. We had all kinds of shit going on there.
Oh, God.
All right. Anybody else want to add anything to the Gambler?
Nope. Let's go.
Kenny Rogers, the Gambler.
Kenny Rogers Roasters?
Good food quickly, not fast food. Good food quickly.
Wait a minute. Broccoli?
Newman, you wouldn't eat broccoli if it was deep fried in chocolate sauce.
Talking about it. I love it. It's good for you.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, man.
Kenny?
All right, Mr. Marbles. So next, coming up, the title track. Let's hear it.
So when you read the lyrics, the first thing I thought of is, does he plan on asking? Does he really know what she wants? Like the last verse is basically, I'm going to do you just to shut you up. Like it's a little hashtag me too. Now, there are some people that believe this song's about money, that he's talking about an ATM card and he's bragging about money. Maybe we should have a poll on that.
I would love to meet the one person who believes that.
Yeah. These are very romantic lyrics. Like, you talk too much, and now I'm going to slide it in. What the fuck?
That's taken out of context. Because she never says what's on her mind. That's what the problem is.
Okay, but she talks too much. Because that'll always go well. I dare you to say to any female, hey, you talk too much.
I dare you to say to any female, I want to slide it in.
Right to the top.
And I'm never gonna stop. Too.
You know that Paul and Gene heard this and they were like, "Motherfucker, how did we miss this?"
Oh, that's prevalent throughout this whole album.
Oh yeah. But
right?
the song, but obviously the lyrics and everything. But musically, this song is just what an iconic riff. That opening riff. I mean, most of this album, it makes you want to just like grab a guitar and learn because they're simple riffs. They're not like technically difficult riffs to kind of learn, but slide it in. And this song, there's a couple other songs in this album where in this song where the drums are allowed to kind of breathe, meaning they do a riff, then back off the guitar for a second or two and just let the drums kind of pound. It kind of reminds me of Heaven's on Fire a little bit, the way that some of the verses of Heaven's on Fire are. But this song is epic.
Yeah, you know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of, if you were a fan of Whitesnake, Come and Get It. So I call this Come and Get It Part 2.
Okay.
It very similar. It's kind of AC/DC like, the great riff.
Yep.
And guitars and the drums, and you're like, this is pretty rocking. But go ahead, Sonny.
This is where, you hear a lot of people, they hate the compressed sound of a CD.
Yep.
But when you listen to the UK version of this, it's kind of loose and airy, but the compression tightens it up. And that's the whole album for this. So I don't mind compression if it's going to sound good and it tightens things up a little bit.
Yep.
Okay.
No, I hear you. Agreed.
So, talk about legendary. Oh, by the way, before we get to the next one, Slide It In, written by David Coverdale.
Of course.
Right? Only David. So, the next song, which one of you guys want to go?
So, Slow and Easy. This song is just so iconic and epic. It should have been an absolutely gigantic 80s song. It should have owned the 80s, but this album was kind of coming and going in that time. It's got one of the greatest, if you're a fan of 80s metal or 80s hair metal, it's got one of the greatest clap sections where the music shuts down and all you hear is Take Me Down, Slow and Easy. You just hear the clapping. Oh, it's just the slow burn. It kicks in. That
was the era. The Bon Jovi shot through the heart. Guitar stops, and then everybody's Rats. You should know.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Everybody started doing that. Yep. Perfect.
Just an epic song. The chorus is just it's fantastic.
Yeah, if you listen close, that he's kind of breathing hard as he's singing it, which kind of sells the vocal a little bit.
Yep.
Where I'm kind of lost is, why superstitious? Like a superstitious wine, superstitious woman? Like, are they horny or something? Like, nobody told me.
Maybe it has something to do with his love of gypsies.
Gypsies are superstitious.
He does have superstition is in a lot of the lexicon in Whitesnake's album. I'm telling you. He does use certain phrases, certain words. I love the slide guitar in the beginning.
Oh God, when that
bluesy sound. Oh my God,
that pick slide right into the drums. Oh, it's awesome.
The video helps when you watch this.
Yep.
Early Whitesnake before Coverdale like teased his hair up more and colored it, and John Sykes is you're like, holy shit, this band could have been big. And but if you remember the video, I found it quite disturbing that the bassist Neil Murray constantly like breaks the wall and looks right at the camera.
Oh,
it's very annoying. It's very distracting.
Well, see, it's funny because that was a big thing for late 80s like hair metal shit. So for him to do that for this video, that's like unusual. That was a big fucking poison rat kind of thing to do, you know?
He had to do something.
That's true.
Coverdale's working the mic stand. Sykes looks like a Adonis god.
Yep.
And Murray's just supposed to sit there and play bass guitar.
Yes.
Halsey, how awesome was he on that? Those drums are. He's banging the way. You know what I like too? Do you get that little DRC, Detroit Rock City, right before the picks up and it goes, look out.
Yes.
And then he did it again at the ending part. Oh, he's just such a banger. It's very, just like one of my favorite drummers, very underrated, although he is revered amongst a lot of the drummers. Unfortunately, passed away young, along with Mel Galley. And John Lord has passed away too. Jesus Christ, who's alive?
Yep.
But, the drumming is just incredible on this. The only other thing I wanted to mention is the whole to the bone.
Oh, I love it.
You know what that sounds like? And we're going to bring it right back. Here we go again.
Most definitely.
It's not the Gene Simmons gospel. Most definitely. it reminds me of the Seinfeld. Hello.
Oh, hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
to the bone.
You gotta love that Jerry picks the sound over the girl. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's the best.
That's Kramerica, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the Kramer. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm not looking up if you say that voice, and then she gets pounded with the oil.
Yeah, with the oil-filled balloon.
Yeah.
Kramerica Industries. What part? The money that you don't have, or the building you don't own? Oh God.
Oh God.
Anyways, Slow and Easy, to me, probably one of my favorite rock songs of all time.
Yep.
It is just iconic. And then anybody usually, when they think of Slide It In, they go right to this song.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right. Let's move over to the Slow and Easy is the only song written by Coverdale with Mick Moody. Thanks to the greatest song that we've probably ever done. Now get the fuck out of our band.
Yeah, see ya, bitch.
I didn't say bitch, but and take that serpical mustache you have with you.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, next song. Here we go.
Usually we'll go to Slow and Easy. Now for me, Love Ain't No Stranger is the one for me. This song, when you play this song, this is a song that requires volume. I know it sounds like a teenage thing to say, but when you listen to this song, when he screams and then those drums and that riff come in to drive those verses, I mean, this song is just so expertly crafted and written. And again, go back to what Zeus said about Cozy Powell, just absolutely killing this song. It's just, oh God, I love Slow and Easy, but to me, Love Ain't No Stranger is the one for me on this. It's just epic.
And this is the difference, right? Bret Michaels can't pull off the shit that Slow and Easy and Love Ain't No Stranger's doing. There's that feel, there's that slow, there's that sexy, and then you come and kick somebody's ass with it. There's just Stephen Pearcy can't do that. Like there's just people can't do it, and that's what I loved about this album.
That's such a great way to put it. Like you said, when before it kicks in, like you said, with Slow, like Coverdale, it's not pretense. Like that's him, and you're buying what he's selling.
Yeah, he's got the talent to pull that off.
Yep,
and he's got the talent to do that a lot. It doesn't mean he can only do it on one song, and that's really gonna. No, he's got that much versatility.
Yep.
I think the beginning sounds like "Foolin'" from Def Leppard.
Absolutely. Yep.
The video was pretty cool. If you've ever seen the video, the vocals and the drums are just unbelievable. It's a nice, it just builds. It's a good song written by Coverdale with Mel Galley again coming in.
Yep.
His second credit on this album. Anything else you guys want to add?
No. Just terrific.
Yeah. Other than the fact that they sing a part where it says, I looked around and what did I see? And immediately my mind goes to
Yo, Rand, peep out the window and tell me what you see.
3 motherfucking police staring at me.
Eazy-E's. 3 motherfucking police staring at me. I kept thinking to myself, why do I keep knowing that lyric? What did I see? I'm like, there's something that I remember. What did I see? What did I see? And then I remember he says in Eazy-E's album when he says over to MC Ren, what do you see? 3 motherfucking police staring at me. Nobody move. Nobody get hurt.
So here we go. That's a preview for our next month's bonus episode. We're gonna review Easy Does It.
Yeah. Yes. One of the greatest of all time there.
Only difference between Coverdale and Eazy-E, they'd done the same amount of women, but Eazy-E had like 28 children.
And
no condom.
And he died from it too, so.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm laughing. It's not really funny, but I'm just laughing at it. Oh, man, what's wrong with me? All right. Booger, let's go to the next one.
So we're back to Give Me More Time, which this is the first song where I have a little bit of a problem with. Okay, I love the intro riff. It's another one of those things which just has like that ballsy riff. Okay, the kick drum comes in and takes it off. But the song turns a corner during the chorus, and I just don't like it. Like when he gets back into the verses, I'm like, okay, ballsy. All of a sudden the chorus is like, da-na-na-na-na-na. I'm like, no. The chorus just doesn't go with the song.
I'm totally on the opposite end. I think that chorus puts them on the radio. And if you don't have some of these songs that have got a real chorus that's going to put you on the radio in 84, you're going to have a problem. And there's no doubt. It's possible these are two separate songs put together. There's no doubt about that.
That's what it sounds like.
But it happens a couple of times.
Effect?
Yeah, the Gene Simmons. Yeah, exactly. And he did that, right? He started re-releasing shit later and just kind of sprucing them up. But I love this song because of the chorus has a little bit of a change in it. It's a little more upbeat.
I love this. I like the song, but the chorus is just, like you said, maybe you're right. Maybe it is two different songs put together. It just doesn't, because I think the verses are just real rocking. The chorus isn't bad. It just seems to just not kind of flow like the other songs. Zeus.
Written by Coverdale and Mel Galley. Another unbelievable riff, right? Another one of those, just so prevalent throughout this whole album. Vocals, the guitar, the drums. And the thing that sticks out with me on this song, again, AC/DC, but a little bluesier to me. The lyrics are actually fantastic on this.
Yep.
You are the reason I'm down on my knees. Him pleading, the sun don't shine for me without you by my side. And he doesn't just, he rats that off like instantly. It's just vocally, he can hit it. And it just, the lyrics with his vocal ability and the drums, the guitar makes this unbelievable. I can't say enough about this song, and it's a hidden gem that I've always loved this album. I always loved this song, but there's something about this song that stays with me every time I've listened to it. And then I also you ever see the video of them doing this song on Top of the Pops?
I have not. No,
I haven't.
It's awesome. So if you see it, it's a YouTube clip of them at the Top of the Pops, and obviously they lip sync. So, you misery seekers that want to be out there and be like, oh, I can see that he's not singing it, just like Paul Stanley. If you look to the left, you can see David Coverdale is not singing directly into the mic. Yeah, no shit.
That's lip syncing.
Miserable. It's awesome. The video is what you kind of had for a little bit, that middle ground where the album starts off with Mick Mars. Holy shit. Moody and Galley, and then it transforms into Galley and Sykes, and then ends up just Sykes.
Yep.
This is the middle, and Murray is back in the band. John Lord is there. Cozy Powell is there, and it's an awesome little video. Yeah, and of course it's a performance video. It's he's lip singing, but it rocks. If you see it, it'll make you like the song even more.
Do you think there was another song called "Give Me Just a Little More Time" or something? I mean, why the song title change?
Thank you. I had that down, Sonny, and I almost forgot. Why isn't there just a little more time?
I don't know.
It doesn't say "Give me more time."
Yeah, I don't know.
Not once.
No, you're right. That's a good point. It's true.
Unbelievable. Anyways, let's go to the next song.
I keep looking at you guys because I don't know what list you're looking at. Because there's 85 different lists.
Standing in the Shadow, written by David Coverdale alone. I'll jump on this. Another nice riff. I like the song, but honestly, I felt like this should be on the Rocky 3 soundtrack as well.
Yes.
It's got that kind of like music there. Rocky 3, Rocky 4.
It's got a little bit of a mid to upper tempo. It's got like a driving beat to it.
Like Karate Kid soundtrack or something. Yeah.
But I'll tell you, as opposed to "Give Me More Time," the chorus on this song is what I love about it. I love this song, but this chorus and that little echo when he says "too many people standing in the shadows," and you can hear him kind of echoing, "standing in the shadows of love."
Of love, right?
Yeah.
So I made a note of this.
Okay.
Hungry for love, standing in the shadow of love, guilty of love.
Yep.
Love ain't no stranger. What the fuck, buddy?
Yep. Well, that's what they wrote about
There's a
back
few
then.
more other songs that have the word love in it.
Yeah, but this is a standout track for me for sure, especially the chorus.
Yeah, standout for me too. And this is one of the few songs, because a lot of the UK mix, they kind of keep the same, right?
Yep.
And even Sykes is even doing some of the solos exactly the same, which that's a little weird that you're stealing somebody's solo. But anyway, but this song, you can tell the difference, because I absolutely dislike the UK mix.
Yep.
It just has zero punch to it whatsoever. It doesn't even feel live. It doesn't even feel radio friendly. This thing could have been the first single, and if it was on 87, it could have been the first single and been a hit.
Yep. Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah, very good song. Let's move on. So the next song, let's go.
And that is Hungry for Love. So what I have written here is another song on this album. Every song is loaded with a great riff, but this just has a kick-ass riff. But this song just has like kind of just oozes like kind of like I said earlier, like that cock rock sexuality to it. It seems like it's like a perfectly written groove for Coverdale and what he's good at.
Yeah, rock out with your cock out, Tom. And,
Pretty much.
This was another written by David Coverdale alone. And I don't know if I mentioned Stay in the Shadows was also by Coverdale alone. But go ahead, Sonny.
So this song, listen to the guitar solo, right? The US version is like 30 seconds shorter because they take that stupid keyboard solo out, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they should have replaced it with a guitar solo. That's one. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but in the first chorus, when he says hungry for love, hungry for love, hungry for love, that third one, he goes, la, right? Oh, there's a little Paul Stanley in there.
Yep.
There's a little Paul Stanley in there.
Yep.
I'm like, wait a second. He did the Paul. What's going on?
You need to change this up. It's not right. There's something missing here, David. Could you add a little Paul Stanley to that?
Okay. Low. Is that better?
He did it. Yep.
But then he writes, so many women in so little time. Settle down, Gene Simmons. What the fuck?
I'm telling you right now. This with a couple of changes here and there. This could have been a Kiss album. Easily could have been a Kiss album.
Just the titles alone.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yep.
The double entendres.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Anything else on Hungry for Love?
Nope.
Okay. Let's hit the next one.
I absolutely love this. Is All or Nothing, and the way this opens up with that another riff. All these songs open up killer, and it's just to me just a great song that just has just a groove to it, and it's got a friggin' organ solo in it. I mean, I love it. This is right up there on this album for me in terms of some of my favorites.
I'm still trying to figure out what he says before the solo. Does he say when you look at a girl? Does he say you're a good-looking girl? I'm not exactly sure what he's saying there. He's kind of mumbling it. I don't know if you saw that.
Get the cock out of your mouth, David. I can't.
Let's see if we can consult lyrics here. Let's see.
Those things are all fucked up.
Yeah, I don't know if the mumble's in the lyrics or not.
Yeah, but you're right. John Lord's keyboard is very prevalent throughout the song.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it's lowered a bit in the US mix, and I don't know if you noticed, but under the solo, what's played on the US mix and what's played on the UK mix is different.
Okay. Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a different drum beat.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I didn't listen to everything on the UK mix from start to finish.
Yeah.
But okay.
I don't have the ear for it, Sonny. I'm glad you do.
Yep.
But Tom, you're right. Great riff. I think this sounds like Ozzy's Lightning Strikes. So since that song came out afterwards, I would say that copied this. Very similar. I'm like, I know this riff. I've heard this before. And, it's quite popular. I'm sure other people have stolen it here and there. But what else would you like to add?
Well, I think what you just said real quick, I think this album, and I don't have any, proof of this, just kind of as we're talking out loud, I feel like we keep talking about how these songs have great riffs and great openings and great bridges to the chorus, and you wonder maybe for us this album wasn't as huge as it was, but if you wonder about those bands in the 80s, if maybe this was like a go-to album for some of these guys, maybe they looked at it and like, holy shit, let's take some of this and kind of turn it into something, because you can see some roots to some later 80s hair metal with a lot of these songs and a lot of what's being used.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's a shame that Sykes is getting the credit for it, because if you don't know,
Right.
you don't know Mick Moody wrote all this stuff, or Mel Galley wrote all this stuff, or supposedly, I guess, Coverdale wrote some of this stuff.
Right.
But
This was
somebody had a
Coverdale
talent.
Galley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This song as well.
Yep.
My heart is burning. So when he says that, you know what I think, Tom?
Don't say it. Don't say it.
I can't help myself.
Hi, can I help you?
Hi, my pussy is burning. Can someone help me? My pussy is burning. It's on fire. Can you help me?
Your what is?
My pussy is burning.
Then you need to come in and be seen.
I had an accident. I fell and tripped over my hot iron, and it's burning. It's scorched.
Then you should come in and be seen by...
Can you come? Can I get a house call? I can't even close my legs. I can't walk.
I think it's that Jerky Boys prank call.
Oh my
Where
god!
the girl says,
Go ahead. You were going to say it.
I'm not saying it.
When they call up and the girl keeps saying, my pussy's burning. My pussy's burning. The lady's like, I'm sorry? My pussy's burning. My pussy's burning. He keeps repeating that.
See, I let Zeus is the dirty one on the show, so I let him go with all this. I try to stay respectable. And poor Sonny's out to disconnect the Skype call.
Plus, it's Sunday.
Yeah. Well, it's funny that you say that, Sonny. It's funny that you say that. We're talking I started my Sunday off with going to church with my family. And now I'm talking about sliding it in and spitting it out. Oh, God. All right. Speaking of, what's next?
I'm gonna die.
Oh, God. Oh, here we go. Here we go. See what happens?
Oh.
Oh, God. All right. I'm going to introduce the next song. So, song number 9. Here we go. Be regarded as quite maybe the silliest song on the album, and one that isn't pretended to be anything other than what it is, and that is Spit It Out. Sonny, thoughts on this gem?
He still does the slow down breakdown thing and tries to make it sexy.
Yep.
But he's telling a woman spit it out. You would think that's a mood killer. And then the whole thing about seal it with a kiss. Does he want to be kissed after the BJ and the spit out, or during?
Well, see,
or I'm confused.
See, I look at it a little differently. I think he's being very polite in this song, because he's saying, spit it out if you don't like it. He's
going to hold the head there. He didn't want to be polite as holding the head there, but then he's going to pull away and go ahead, spit it out.
Right. I think he's being very kind. I think this is a love song, actually.
I think like the other song about money, this one's about like sushi. I don't think this is about what you think it's about.
You might be right. I agree.
This
Zeus.
was written by Coverdale Galley.
Yep.
Another awesome riff. Slide It In Part 2 or Come and Get It Part 3.
Yep.
Same riffs.
Yep.
And I put in here Gene and Paul pissed that they didn't come up with this.
Absolutely.
They should have been like, lick it up, then how about spit it out? Does that work?
That's true. But here's this is a serious question. Okay, we always make fun of Kiss with their double on lick it up or dance all over your face or even bang bang you. Do you think that Paul or Gene would write a song with a title that is just so obvious and so unambiguous? Because I don't.
What?
Yeah, I don't either. And
Yeah.
Even with this title and the lyrics and everything along with it, what's interesting is they're trying to break in America.
Exactly.
I'm surprised Birch or Kramer are like, are you kidding me? You can't put this on an album if you want to be taken seriously.
But that's the thing. Kiss was clever. What they wrote it up where you knew what they were talking about. Okay, but there was a little bit of double entendre. There was a little bit, like we always say, we joke about dance all over your face, or bang bang you, but to have the title of the song be that way. It's just, I honestly, we tease Kiss. I just don't think that they would have ever written a song like this.
What are you talking about? It's not that bad. Spit it out. It doesn't mean like spit it out. It could be you got somebody behind you there, big guy. Sonny.
Oh, yeah, Sonny, you got a guest.
That's the wife.
This is the perfect time to talk about these lyrics, too.
Perfect timing for her to come
embarrassed.
in. No, go ahead, Zeus. You were talking about.
No, but I'm saying spit it out. It could be like, well, maybe we should go to the mall. Spit it out. What are you trying to say?
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah.
Come on. Stop beating around the bush, as AC/DC would say.
Exactly. Well, there you go.
Double entendre, right? Beating around the bush.
Right.
Spit it out. Could be like fucking stop
yeah.
stuttering. Right?
Mr. Tipton.
He didn't wear his necessary eyeglasses.
They reading glasses.
No more questions. Spit it out. I just, who knows? And Sonny, I'm with you. That bridge is awesome. That's the Coverdale Bridge.
Yep.
I never knew what of you.
Yeah. I think the guitar solo, it's one of my favorites.
It's a great song. Don't get me wrong.
I have it in my head.
Silly.
I can hum it, which makes it a great guitar solo.
Yep. Absolutely.
Let's end this album with the last song.
So here's what I think happened. Somebody came to Coverdale and said, look, every song can't be about molesting somebody. You got to do something that's a little bit nicer. It doesn't have to be completely PG, but it can't be XXX. So it's a catchy song to me. I think the U.S. version where they turn the guitars up a little bit and it's a little more up-tempo, I really like this song.
This is go ahead, Zeus.
Go ahead. No, Tom, go ahead.
I was just going to say, this is the song that prevents me from giving this album a perfect 10 rating. I think this song is a dud for me on this album. And the reason is it's too fast. It doesn't fit to me, it's not what David Coverdale excels at. He excels at the groove, at, like we said, his swagger, his front. This is just too fast. The song is not breathing. The chorus is not breathing. It's not necessarily a bad song. Maybe I just think it's not a good song for this album. I'm just not a huge fan of it.
I like it. Sounds a little like Straight from the Heart off their self-titled album that they do later on. It has that kind of up-tempo kind of movement on it.
Yep.
It sounds very British.
Yeah.
Guilty of love, darling. Yeah, it's just, you get that Coverdale voice. Very British, but It's a good song. It doesn't have to be. I don't think it's a dud. I certainly don't think it's a dud.
Okay.
It may not be my favorite, but it is what it is. So that is Slide It In.
Absolutely.
And we know Coverdale is a dirty, dirty bird.
Oh, very much so. Yep. So what do we do when we do our album reviews, Zeus?
We always break down the tracks and rank them.
That's right.
Okay. So this ought to be interesting. There was a lot of feedback on the last one we did.
Oh, my God,
all over the place.
On the cruise, somebody goes, hey, you're Sonny. And I'm ready for, hey, I love Growing Up Rock. You guys do a great job. I'm like, oh, yeah, hi. He goes, yeah, you're the dumb fuck that lights brownstone over Rocket Queen. I'm like, motherfucker, I've done 150 episodes on another podcast.
And I was on one show with those idiots, and that's the one you're listening to?
Exactly.
I love it.
So thank you, David Zanuck, for confronting him on the Monsters of Rock cruise. Thank you, David, my friend.
David would never have a bad word to say about anybody, especially Sonny.
David rocks. All right. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. My number
10. Yeah.
Hungry for Love. It's too repetitive.
Okay.
I'll go next. Hungry for Love.
What the fuck is wrong with the two of you already? We're off to a bad start.
I got a feeling
Oh, it's going to get about ugly here in 3 picks.
All right. Number 10 for me, as I just said, is Guilty of Love.
Guilty of Love.
Sonny, number 9.
Spit It Out if you don't like it. For all the things it is, it's not one of the better songs on this CD. I love it, but I can't play it in the car with the kids. That's for sure.
No, you cannot.
Number 9. Slide It In.
Number 9?
The title track?
Yes.
Holy shit! Now the torches and the pitchforks and torches will be coming after Zeus for this one.
Oh,
It's just there's so many great riffs.
Yeah.
I felt like they could have done more with this. It was like, I don't know. It just
Okay.
slide it in. It just I'm not the key. The chorus is just simplistic a little too much. Go ahead. 9.
Number 9 for me. Agree with Sonny. Spit It Out. Number 9.
All right, number 8 for me. Don't Hang Up. Slow and Easy.
I knew you were gonna do something like that. I knew it.
How?
I knew it.
See. Now
Don't
I'm at the
hang
point.
up.
Now I'm at the point where now you're just fucking with us. There's no.
No.
You're trolling.
Something has to be 8.
Yeah, but
Okay.
not the best song.
And there's no Rush or Eagle songs on here, so something has to be 8.
Oh boy.
If it was Rush, it'd be all 10. There would be number 9 through 1.
Oh yeah.
Um,
And listeners out there, that's exactly why I didn't pick a Rush album, because there's no way I'd be able to get through it with these two people.
I
Why?
wanna
Did you want to do Roll the Bones?
No. I'll do a Rush album maybe next time.
Yes,
it's my pick.
I want to hear it, and maybe you can prove me wrong.
Okay.
I want to.
Okay. Zeus, number 8.
I can hear Geddy Lee play the keyboard and the bass at the same time with his fucking talon barefoot feet on the fucking stage.
Jesus, come on, man.
Disgusting fungi feet. 8. Guilty of Love.
Okay. Number 8 for me is The Gambler.
Gambler.
Yep. Sonny, number 7.
Number 7 for me is Give Me More Time.
Ooh.
If he wasn't so slow and easy, maybe he wouldn't need the time. Be a little quicker.
There you
Weren't
go.
so horny. He wouldn't be so horny.
You know what makes you quicker? Liquor. Just
That's it.
Zeus, what do you got? 7.
7. Gambler.
Okay. Number 7, again, agreeing with Sonny. Give Me More Time. Number 7.
Guys are fucking insane.
Okay. Sonny, 6.
okay. Here comes the next train wreck. Love Ain't No Strangers. Number 6 for me.
Okay. Now this experiment with a 3-person podcast is coming to an end.
Really? Fuck you. Love Ain't No Stranger. Number 6.
Oh yeah.
Ow! I can't wait to hear the rest of what you guys have. How is that possible? You know what? I can't. You know what?
Go ahead, number 6.
I just finish the show without me.
Number 6. Go ahead.
Hungry for Love.
All right.
Oh man. Okay. Number 5 for me is Guilty of Love.
Oh, another horrible list for Sonny.
5 for me. Standing in the Shadow.
Oh, that's my number 5 too.
Oh, there you go.
You both strong.
We are all over the place with this list. Sonny, number 4.
Gambler, baby. That song's way too good. It shouldn't open up an album. Don't get me wrong.
No, that was a mistake.
But that little thumping bass line when it starts, it's got a cool groove.
Yep.
I like that keyboard. Ding, that keyboard is caught in the background there. Yep. Number 4 for me. Spit It Out.
Oof. No.
Spit it out.
Number 4 for me is All or Nothing. Sonny, number 3.
Number 3 for me is All or Nothing.
Okay. Zeus.
Number 3 for me is All or Nothing.
Okay.
Are you doing the tallies right now too, Sonny?
Yep.
Okay, perfect.
Number 3 for me is the title track. Slide it in. Sonny, number 2.
Number 2 for me is Slide It In.
Wow. Okay. Zeus, number 2.
Number 2 for me, Slow and Easy.
That is also my number 2, Slow and Easy. Sonny
That
did.
makes number one for me, Standing in the Shadow.
I won't argue with that. That really is a great song. I mean, that's a great song. Great chorus.
See, this is what makes a great album, because I think I wouldn't be, other than I really would say Hungry for Love, maybe, I really wouldn't be shocked if anybody picked one of those other songs. I like the whole album. There's not a dud in here.
What do you got,
But
Zeus?
number one for me, and I'm telling you, I could easily have had Slow and Easy as my number one because it's one of my favorite songs. But my number one go-to song on this album has always been Give Me More Time.
Really?
I love that song more than
Wow.
any. It's my favorite Whitesnake song.
Interesting.
The riff, the vocals, the guitar, the drums, the especially when you see them performing it. Go watch the Top of the Pops video there. You see him performing it, it just makes you like it even more. It's by far my favorite Whitesnake song. So
Right.
go ahead.
Well, I'm about to bring some sanity to this because you two dipshits had this at number 6. The best song on the album is number 1, Love Ain't No Stranger. So there
All
we
right.
go.
So adding this all up, number one was All or Nothing. Number 2 was Standing in the Shadow. Number 3 was Slow and Easy.
All right, I'm not going to argue with that. It's a great top 3.
Yeah.
That is a great
Yeah.
top 3.
Yeah.
Terrific. Awesome.
Give Me More Time, 2 7s. That's what killed it.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. You're right.
Absolutely loved doing this album. This was Tommy's pick. So it's a great selection. I thank you for picking something that did not make me want to blow my brains out right off the start. We'll get to that later. I think we should let our good friend Mr. Pooni over here pick the next one. What do you think?
Boy.
Put me
Yep.
on the spot.
Oh boy.
You don't have
You
to
want
tell us what it
popular?
is.
You don't,
You
you don't
want
have
a
to tell me.
popular one?
We can debate it later, but you'll make the pick.
You don't need to
Okay.
pick now, but next pick will be yours. And that does not mean like the Japanese import of Y&T's second album.
Yeah, something I can be able to find and get. Please.
I need the
Not the Finnish band you just interviewed on Monsters of Rock Cruise, okay?
yeah,
Please.
I need the EP from Loudness.
Roundness.
Oh, here we go. We're all gonna get.
There's nothing wrong with roundness.
Ho, we are Wildness.
Hey, that band's actually not bad. We give them a lot of shit, but they could kick ass.
Where was that, Tom? That some guy goes, holy shit, yeah, we are Wildness.
Oh,
What
that was
that?
That was at the when we saw Rat up at Hampton. Yep.
Somebody overheard me.
Somebody
say-
overheard us. We said that as a joke, and some guy goes, "Yeah, Loudness."
No, you said we are Wildness. You said it just like that. Like, oh God.
All right.
God, poor
So,
bastard.
so you want me to get to some emails about our previous bonus episode?
Yes.
Okay.
I'd like to read one of them as well. Take the first one, though, Tom.
Which one? The one from Serial Man?
Go ahead, please.
Okay, so this is
And
from,
it's in entirety, please.
I know, I won't edit this out. So, Sonny and Steven, brace yourself here.
Oh shit.
Longtime
Wait
listener,
a minute, whoa,
first
Tom.
Oh.
That's the guy, I think he's on, he uses Podchaser, right?
Serial Man?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, you should know because I asked you one time, Sonny, about it. And I think you said, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think
Am I right?
we've gotten comments from him before, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, go
So
ahead.
Serial Man in an email says, longtime listener, first time emailer, love you guys. The addition of Sonny is amazing, and the three of you have better chemistry than his two other podcasts.
Oh shit. You should have gave Steven a warning to shut this shit off.
But wait, then he comes after me. Then he comes
Oh.
Then he goes, did Tommy realize how many times he repeated himself? Maybe he should be nicknamed Foghorn Leghorn Jr.
I didn't even know what he was talking about. I didn't hear you repeating yourself, but
Then he goes, I look forward to more bonus episodes. If you're looking for a record to review, do Quiet Riot Mental Health. Huh, maybe we will.
Maybe we will.
Thank you, Serial Man.
I just enjoy it. It's finally something that somebody writes to us. It's not shitting on me, so I'll take it.
Go ahead, Zeus. You were going to read one?
So I'll read one of our first ones from that episode. Okay, Tom.
Yep.
This is by Mac Maddie.
Okay.
Holy shit! Appetite is the title. The best episode you've done yet. Love the non-kiss. Love the album review. Love Hollywood. And love your chemistry between the three of you. I was on the floor laughing several times.
Nice.
Must have been during the timeout section.
Yeah. I was gonna say thanks for the alias, Stephen Wright.
All right, and we got another one from our Australian friend Graham Richley. I think he's written to us before. So he says, just finished listening to your Appetite for Destruction episode, and I just had to write. Absolutely loved it. Hilarious. I was literally laughing out loud, but it's also spot on in so many aspects. What a killer album. In many ways, it was probably better than some of the Kiss episodes because your love and enthusiasm was so obvious, while we all know Kiss inside and out and how lame they can be at times. Shark concert, anyone? I don't usually agree with Zeus's choice, but his song rankings were fantastic. While Sonny Pooni should clearly be called Sonny Looney, as his rankings were simply insane. Thanks for taking the time to entertain us. Looking forward to the next one, Graham, #1 Australian fan. Ooh, Graham, thank you, buddy. Now, who wants to read the big whopper?
I got to do that.
Oh, shit. There's worse?
No, this one isn't. I wouldn't say this one's worse. This is just interesting. I think it's tongue in cheek, but it's very interesting.
Listen to this one. This is from our good friend Craig Stevens. Message from down under in capital letters. Our Australian fans are quite,
Passionate.
Exactly. As dedicated Kiss and music aficionados that you both obviously are, I am sure, like me, you scratch your head at why bands seem to think they have to prove something to either the critics or maybe themselves and feel the need to get off track and release something far removed from what gets them to the top of their game in the first place. A perfect example is Kiss in the release of Dynasty Unmasked the Elder. Here's a band flying along, killing it with the sound, look, image, mystique that no one else has. They decide to mess around with it. Big letters, why?
Here we go.
This brings me to your bonus episode. Is this the first signs of cracks starting to appear on the team?
Oh, this in the next paragraph.
Uh-oh.
Oh no, the next paragraph is the best, Sonny. Listen to this.
His name isn't Sonny, it's Desmond. I'm picturing Paul Stanley meeting Desmond Child in the 70s and falling under his spell of catchy, syrupy lyrics with the result, disco Kiss. Is Sonny Hollywood Pooni your Desmond Child? Five question marks. Are you both, in quotes, under his spell? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Has he promised you untold success and fame? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Big letters, capital letters. Don't fall for his empty promises.
What the fuck is that?
Well, we got more. You guys have a mighty fine product analyzing Kiss from a completely different perspective than other podcasts, in that you're fearless in your criticism, funny, but still obviously in love with all the members of the band, both past and present, regardless of their faults. You also come across as, freely to admit, to being a couple of knuckleheads. I don't know when did we call ourselves knuckleheads, but a few people have said that, and I don't remember that. But anyways, just like the rest of us. And this, I think, is what attracts most of us, everyday guys that we can relate to. Is there some sort of pressure being brought to bear by the Pantheon podcast people to try to give Sonny in his podcast a boost? Question mark, question mark, question mark. And by the way, in big capital letters, who the fuck is Hollywood Pooni?
This is awful.
You guys world often refers to bands sticking to their wheelhouse. You guys have got all the other podcasters looking over their shoulders. And I can't help but think the deviation into bonus episodes about other bands is a mistake, and the potential to isolate the true Kiss fans and shout it out loudcasters. I didn't know we had a name for our listeners. It is not too late to get back and release your Creatures album. I love what you guys do and hope that you accept this email in the light-hearted manner in which it is intended. P.S. Australia is not on fire. Please, people, come down under for holidays and business. Don't believe the fake news about climate change disaster. We have fires here every summer, just as we see your Californian wildfires on the news and floods, etc. But it doesn't mean the entire country is ruined. Thanks, guys. Crazy Craig. So
there's a lot. There's a lot.
Comments?
There's a lot to unpack there.
Yeah. So here you go. Here's my comments. I am not working with Pantheon Podcast. I'm the parking lot attendant. I'm the IT guy. I own the nearest liquor store, and I was your Uber driver. And oh yeah, I sell ice cream out of a truck, but I am not Desmond Child.
Well, I just want to add something real quick before I forget this thought, because I didn't write this down. We are the ones that asked Sonny to come on. Me and Tom, both want Sonny to come on. Sonny is heads and shoulders above where me and Tom are at. And he's an unbelievably cool guy, an unbelievable generous guy, and he's unbelievably funny and knowledgeable. We are so lucky to have him on. Other than that, he's a fucking asshole.
Oh,
I was about to do that.
And just to talk about
I was trying to be serious, except for the last part. I'm serious. Go ahead, Tom.
And just to talk about the ideas of the bonus episode. So, we talk about how we are part of the Pantheon Podcast Network, and we're proud of that. We're happy to be part of them. They have less than zero, complete hands off to any content. They have never, ever, ever said a word about content.
Until tonight when I said my pussy's burning and spit it out and all sorts of shit.
No, because I've heard other shows say, maybe we might be the nastiest one on Pantheon, but who knows? But but the reason the bonus episode came about is because Zeus and I do a Kiss podcast, but obviously as you listen to the Guns N' Roses episode and you listen to this one, we just have a passion for like 80s, 90s, like hard rock metal music, and we wanted an outlet to talk about it. So like, hey, once a month, let's talk about an album that we love. And we said, Sonny is a friend, and Sonny has a background that obviously you've heard from these two episodes that just adds so much more to these episodes. And, we're not expecting everybody to love everything we do. I hope Craig enjoys the bonus episodes. Maybe he doesn't. I don't know, but I hope he does. But we're gonna keep them here. We love doing them. So
yeah, and that's why we made it bonus. So This is what the part that me and Tom were talking about. Like, how do we do this? Do we just skip an episode? So we came up with listen, we're not going to miss an episode for a bonus episode. We're still going to do our Kiss podcast. We're just going to throw one in once a month or so, just to have a release for us to talk about stuff. We can't keep waiting for the invites for all our friends to their podcast to talk about stuff that we can't control because they're the host. So this was our way, and we got to bring on a great friend who makes this so special and different from our regular podcast. And at least me and Tom believe that this combination makes the bonus episodes a must listen to. That's for us. That's our opinion. But go ahead, Sonny.
No, so this whole who the fuck is Sonny Pooni?
That's hilarious.
So, all right, Jericho, I know you're listening. I got a message for you.
Oh boy.
So who the fuck is Sonny Pooni? Well, let me tell you. The next time I see you, Chris Jericho, I'll be the brown guy wearing about 3 bills that comes up right to you, toe-to-toe, chest puffed out, with a facial expression that looks like I'm about ready to throw down and get nasty. and then shake her hand, get your autograph, get a hug, get a selfie, say thank you, Mr. Jericho, because I'm a 245% harmless. Phew, almost got my ass kicked. That's exactly what I do there's still a story out there, Tony from Restrained. I met LaRussa once, and I'm like, hi, Mr. LaRussa, can I get your autograph? And I've never lived that down.
Oh,
like, he wanted me to go up there, hey, Tony, how come the Ace suck? Where's Ricky Henderson? Like,
Ricky Henderson.
But this who the fuck is Sonny Pooni?
It just took off. It just took off. It's crazy.
Yeah, and no, again, and obviously I think Craig was saying this in jest. We found the humor in this. I don't think it's a complaint. We've had so many compliments, as you could tell from the other stuff that we read about this. We thought it was a little funny to hear somebody be wondering and acting as though we're like the Beatles and Yoko, and all of a sudden there's some cracks in the system. Yep. There are no
holy shit! I'm the elder. Oh my God! I'm gonna jump off the next bridge.
I like the fact that you may be the Desmond Child and we've fallen under your spell.
How about that? Do you think he's like this? There's some hidden meaning behind Paul falling under the spell of Desmond Child? You know, Desmond Child, the openly gay musician, right?
Yep.
Songwriter. Paul's under his spell and fell into that trap. What? I don't know what he's implying there.
Can you imagine if they hadn't worked together already and Paul meets Desmond after all the Slippery When Wet hits? Oh my God. 89, 90, 91 would have been all Desmond Child songs.
Yeah, you're right. That's true. Yep. All right.
So we're going to get to the fun part.
Oh, here we go.
So we called this one the...
'Cause you matter to me, and that's why you still matter to me, and that's the only reason I need to get by. You still matter to me, yes you do.
Section of the podcast, and that was the idea we originally thought of. I was trying to pitch, of course, something more vulgar and call it the "What You Make Me Rock Hard" segment. We're still up in the air, not sure what to call this. I am pushing for the "You Make Me Rock Hard" segment to fly. So Tom can ask Sonny, what matters to him, but I'm going to ask you two fuckers, what makes you rock hard?
Oh God, Sonny,
all right,
Sonny, you kick it off. Yeah. What do you got?
I'll go first since people are going to be clipping this and using this on other podcasts. I'll just say it out loud.
Uh-oh.
What makes me rock hard is a 32-year-old gentleman named Eric Gronell. He is the singer for Heat. And I'm telling you, if anybody listening out there has got a chance to see Heat, wherever you are in the world, do not miss that chance. They were by far the craziest on the Monsters of Rock. And they just released a new EP, and there's a song called Rise on that EP, if you want to give them a chance. But Eric Gronell is the lead singer and frontman, and he won Swedish Idol in 2007, and that dude is nuts. Nice. Like, we had a Paul Stanley truther in with our group, and he had to say, okay, that was pretty damn good, and those are some things I've never seen before. So Heat, Eric Gronell, check out the song Rise. It's awesome. And it makes me rock hard. It makes me rise. Rock hard.
God. Oh, boy.
Does it make you rise to it?
maybe that could be the name of the segment.
What makes you rise to it?
I think I got to vote rock hard. Let's just vote here. Let's change it to rock hard.
Thank you.
Fine.
We're done.
Jesus Christ. Maybe you really got off. All right. Who's next? Me?
I don't care.
All right. So I'm going to go next. So caught a movie last night that I had been wanting to see since it came out. It's from 2014. It's a movie called Whiplash. The movie was nominated for a bunch of Academy Awards. Was nominated for Best Picture. It got the Academy Award for Best Actor for the role that J.K. Simmons played. The movie is about a young kid at a music school, like a Berklee College of Music, and he's a jazz drummer. And J.K. Simmons plays the music instructor, who is absolutely a lunatic. He makes the drill instructor from Full Metal Jacket look like Captain Kangaroo. He's an absolute psychopath. The movie, I grew up listening to a lot of jazz and big band music with my dad. So the jazz drumming, I know all about it. I know who the big names are, the Buddy Guy, the Buddy Rich, Gene Krupa, that kind of stuff. The music, the movie is just spectacular. Unbelievable acting, unbelievable drama. A climax of the movie just leaves you breathless. I know it's a couple years old, but if you haven't seen it, I cannot recommend the movie Whiplash more. Check it out. It's available for streaming or rental, but it is an amazing movie.
We have slided ins. We got rock hards. We got spit it outs. We got climaxes. We got, wow.
It's a dirty show.
It's a dirty show.
It's a dirty show. Go ahead, Zeus.
What makes me rock hard?
No, we see already. Let me interrupt. We're not doing this. I can't do this.
Well, if you want to watch, you can see I'm rock hard right now.
See?
Go ahead. What makes me rock hard? I told you that I started reading Joey Quesada's book, which you can kind of see up here, over here.
Yep.
Let me see 1 second.
Yeah. So Quesada came on PRC, and he goes, "Hey, I'm going to send you the book." Right. Yep. So I get the book, and he goes, "Hey, can you read it before we do the podcast?" And I'm like, it's 430 fucking pages, Quesada. Are you fucking kidding me? I read like 40 pages of that shit, and I'm like, come on. Now I got the audiobook, so it's a little bit easier.
Yep. So I was just going to say, and to promote it a little bit, his audiobook just came out. So I started going through this as well. I am flying through this book.
Yep.
Flying through it. It is an awesome read. Now, especially because he, obviously he's a big Kiss guy. And it makes the book, but he's in our age group. A lot of the stories that he talks about are very similar to our own. He's a likable guy, and reading his story and his stuff and all this, him and his friends growing up and the crazy stuff that goes on. I am not a reader, because we'll laugh about this later, Tom. There's a book that we're trying to read for an episode to come up. We're going on like 6 months. I can't finish this fucking book. It's painful. And I'm like, I should finish that book, but I started reading Joey's book.
Yep.
And I'm flying through it.
Awesome.
You guys should pick it up. Joey Quesada's Start with the Dream. I'd get the book because the book has a lot of photos in it. And I just, me, I like something physical. I need to have it in my hand. But he's been promoting the fact that it's now on audio form. So if you can't get the book, or you're not a book reader and you like to travel and you like to, commute, get the audio version. It is awesome. And we'll have Joey on sometime to talk a little bit about it. But Start with the Dream, the book by Joey Quesada. That's what makes me rock hard.
Wonderful. And I like what Zeus just said too about he likes to have something physical that he can hold in his hand
while he's rock hard.
Yeah. So
Yes.
this whole show is just ending very interestingly.
And it's a photo of a guy on the cover of the book. Yes.
Oh, great. Joey's going to love that.
Yes. All right, buddy. So, Sonny, where can we find you?
Growing Up Rock podcast Rock City. We've been going strong for a while now. It's been a great run, and I appreciate you guys having me.
Absolutely, buddy.
You're part of the family now, like it or not.
Right. You're a made man. You're part of the family.
Oh.
Yep.
Okay, am I allowed to whack a made man, or is that not still allowed?
Depends on who it is. Depends.
We're gonna put a hit on Foghorn Leghorn. Can you take him out?
So yeah, we love having Sonny here, and you guys, if you're listening to us, you've obviously heard him on Podcast Rock City and Growing Up Rock. Great stuff. Check him out on all the podcast platforms, all the social media. And you can find us, Shout It Out Loudcast. We're on all the social medias, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Our email, as you can see, we just read some, shoutitoutloudcast@gmail.com. And again, we are part of the Pantheon podcast family, who has no say in what we do. All right. We love the feedback. We hope you guys enjoyed another extended bonus episode on Whitesnake. Slide it in.
Yeah, the thing I was going to add is if you guys notice, we saved the bonus episode responses in email for the bonus episode. We will continue to do so. So if you send us an email, you're like, oh, they didn't read it. We'll read it at the following bonus episode. So keep those emails coming. Keep it coming. Email us at shoutitoutloudcast@gmail.com. It's just our name at gmail.com. And if you can, give us one of those 5-star child reviews so people can find our podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, Podchaser, wherever else you find it. Usually at this point, we like to give some lyrics. So we call these famous last words. Who wants to go first?
Tommy, you go first.
All right. So let's end with this. My heart is burning and the fire is hot. My temperature is rising, rising, rising. I'm ready to rock.
You set it up again. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. Go, Sonny, before I forget.
And it's funny because that was my lyric before we even got into the other part. Go ahead.
Now, I don't want sugar-coated loving, just silver-tongue tenderness. You got to give me a certain satisfaction, the kind of love you seal with a kiss.
Ooh, yikes.
And I got to see Sonny blow that kiss. So I'll save that for the next You Make Me Rock Hard segment. I'm going to get sappy. I need your loving. I need your charms. I can't stand the thought of you in someone else's arms. Give me one more time. Best song of the album. These two guys don't know what the fuck they're talking about. On that note, anything else?
Nope. Thank you, everybody. Sonny, thank you again for joining us. We always having a great time. This is awesome. Thank you.
Love you guys.
Thank you, Kiss Army. Thank you, Sonny. Thank you, Tom. Peace out, Girl Scout.
We love you!